Good afternoon, folks. My name is Brandon Doyle, Marketing Manager here at Blue Corona. And we're still waiting on a few people to join us here for this afternoon's webinar. So just do me a quick favor, sit back, relax, and we will get started in just a couple of minutes. Thanks, everyone. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Brandon Doyle, Marketing Manager here at Blue Corona. And first and foremost, I want to thank everyone in attendance in today's webinar. I know everyone in attendance is a Blue Corona client, and we certainly do appreciate that. And thank you for taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of time this afternoon with us. I'm joined by Alex Moser today. Alex is Blue Corona's Director of Account Development and has been here at Blue Corona ever since we first opened our doors over 10 years ago. How are you this afternoon, Alex?
I'm great. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. Well, thank you for being with us, Alex. And for everyone in attendance, before we jump into today's webinar about lead recovery and how that service can help you book more appointments and generate more sales, I just wanted to get a few administrative pieces out of the way. We will set aside time for questions at the end of today's webinar. So if at any point throughout the webinar you do have questions, feel free to navigate your mouse over to the questions panel in your GoToWebinar dashboard. Click that little triangle and type in your question as you have them. And again, we'll answer as many as we can at the conclusion of today's webinar. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. And Alex, go ahead and take us away.
Thanks, Brandon. And thank you all for joining me today. I'm really excited to talk to you about our lead recovery service, sort of a new service we're providing to clients. Just a quick agenda. I'll talk about the history of lead recovery, like how the service came to be, how it works, costs, and we'll walk through a quick client case study. And like Brandon said, leave some time at the end for questions. Before we get started, of course, I want to remind you that our job as your digital marketing partner is to make sure we're always thinking about how you can increase your leads and grow your business. As most of you know, we've been investing in call tracking since day one of Blue Corona, originally for the purpose of seeing how well your marketing is performing. You know, each and every call we listen to each and every call we track is listened to by a real person who determines if the call is a lead or a missed call or a solicitor or whatever. And then we use that data to help you optimize your campaigns. So time after time, clients would say to us that, you know, when they look at our reports, they notice they're getting a lot of leads, but a large percentage of them don't seem to be turning into, you know, appointments or sales. What's happening? How can they change that? How can we help? Of course, you know, we've been listening to the calls for years, and at this point, we've listened to over 3.5 million inbound calls from our clients. So we sort of had the answers to those questions, and they're not always easy answers to hear. In terms of leads, the inbound phone leads that aren't booking into appointments, you know, there are some pretty glaring missed opportunities. Instances where the customer service rep didn't understand the customer's request or didn't answer the right questions or told the customer, that the earliest time that they could get there for an appointment was several weeks out when in fact it really wasn't. Sometimes customer service reps are rude to the customers. Whatever it is, the appointment was not booked. The lead was sort of lost. So from there, we said we got to help our clients. And that's where both our smart selling and lead recovery programs were born. I talked about our smart selling service a couple months ago in a webinar. That's our customer service rep training and coaching program, where we're helping our clients' customer service reps book a higher percentage of those inbound leads into appointments with ongoing training. If you're interested in learning more about that, shoot me a note, alex@bluecorona.com. But today I'm going to talk about our lead recovery service. So before I go into that, I just want to walk through, again, the sales funnel. This funnel probably looks familiar to you. We talk about getting more visibility on the web, which then turns into website visits, and we want to turn as many of those website visitors into leads. Taking this funnel one step further, we want to book as many of those leads into sales appointments or estimates, or it depends on your business, but we want to get as many appointments and sales out of those leads as we can. With the right training, a la our smart selling training program, your customer service team can become better equipped to handle these inbound phone leads and book more appointments, which ultimately turns into more sales and revenue for your company. Our lead recovery service, which I'm talking about today, really affects the same place in the sales funnel, which is right here. Again, the goal is to turn more of these leads into appointments and sales. Okay, so let's get to the chase here. Let's talk about lead recovery and how it works. As most of you know, of course, we listen to our clients' calls, and we tag them as leads versus non-leads. Non-leads being repeat callers, solicitors, job seekers, your employees, family members, whoever it is. We really want to look at how many leads are we getting. So these screenshots are from our call tracking software platform. You can see all the information about the call, and then tag, quoted and closed revenue, customer service rep, all sorts of tags we've put in here, and there are more. I just couldn't show them all on one screen. As I mentioned, the original reason for us to listen to and tag the calls was so that we could report on exactly how many lead phone calls your campaigns drive. So we know how well your campaigns are working and can optimize campaigns based on true verified leads, not just based on website visits or total phone calls, because we all know we all get calls that aren't all leads. Over time, we've made the tags more specific, right? So we now tag existing customer versus new customer. And we tag, appointment booked versus not booked. So it's these not booked lead calls that we're talking about today. That's where our lead recovery service comes in. All right, how it works. So first, you, the client, designate a person on your team who would be responsible for recovering leads. We at Blue Corona will train that person, or it could be a group of people. We'll train them on how the phone call software platform works and the lead recovery process. Next, we are tagging, for clients that invest in lead recovery, we're tagging their calls fast. They are high priority call tagging clients. We're listening to and tagging the calls up to 4 times a day, Monday through Friday. So your calls are tagged in almost real time as compared to clients not investing in lead recovery. Their calls are being tagged sometimes several days after the call came in. So the idea is we're tagging pretty much in real time, and then we email any lead not booked calls. We're emailing them immediately to the person designated as the recovery person, the lead recovery person. So they're getting an email with information about the call, a link to the call in the phone call software platform, and there's an MP3, a recording attached to the email, so they can just click on that and listen right there before even clicking the link to it. So the person designated to recover the call then listens to the MP3, or they click the link to go listen to it on the software platform. And then it's their job to call the customer back to see if they can save the lead and actually book an appointment. Okay, so once they start going through the recovery process, the person responsible for recovery is then tasked with, filling out the status of that call. So in this example, you can see the customer service rep. Her name is Clarabelle, and she's claimed this call. It was tagged as a lead not booked. She's claimed it. She's in the process of trying to recover the lead and actually book an appointment from it. You can see we have a few options here. A recovered lead is a lead that was previously tagged as not booked, where it was then identified as a lead for recovery, and the customer service rep did end up booking an appointment out of it, which is fantastic. That would be the goal. In progress, pretty self-explanatory. Did not recover the lead means that the person in charge of recovering these leads either did get in touch with the person, and the person said, you know what, I'm good. I don't need you guys. I don't need to book an appointment anymore. So that lead didn't get recovered, or they simply couldn't even get in touch with the person. Not qualified. We don't see as many of those, but that's where a conversation is had and it's identified that it actually isn't a good lead in the first place. So the recovery person, again, is responsible for filling out, these fields in the call tracking platform. Okay. Now, before I show you some results, I want to talk about the cost of the program, because I think you're going to tell me that Blue Corona is crazy for only charging what we are for this program. The cost of the program is $250 per month, which includes up to 50 lead not booked calls being sent to you. Okay, so $250 a month, anywhere up to 50 lead not booked calls are sent. If you have more than 50, then it's $5 per call after the first 50 calls. Okay. I think that's incredibly cheap, especially when you consider how much these leads, if you can recover them and actually book that appointment and get out there and give the client an estimate, if you consider how much those leads are actually worth, this is an incredible deal. So let's take a look at some results. This is a pretty new program, so don't have a ton of results yet, but this is a client of ours that is an HVAC and plumbing company. This is data from April. Obviously, I couldn't fit all the columns when you export the call log. I couldn't fit all of them on this screen, but you can see. So this is for the month of April. I'm only showing all the calls that were tagged as lead not booked. And then we have, so this is 66 calls that we sent them over the course of April. 66 calls that we sent them pretty much in real time, where we tag in all caps recover. Okay, so we're emailing the client or the person responsible for recovery saying, here's an opportunity, a lead not booked. Out of the 66 calls we sent them, 10 of them have been recovered. So an appointment was booked out of these 10, and another 19 are still in process of trying to book that appointment. So if you think about it again, 66 calls, the cost on that for this client is $330 for the month. Okay, even if they close just 30% of these booked appointments, if they close just 30% of the 10 recovered leads, so 3 sales, at an average sale of for HVAC, $600 to $800 for repair, or $4,000 to $7,000 for replacement, the cost is more than covered, and this program is well worth the cost. So I will be reporting more results as they come in, and I would love to get some revenue numbers, but the ROI in this program, again, if the clients can get appointments booked out of these recovered leads and then sales from them starting at $250 a month, again, it's well worth it. So that's all I had today. Now I'd like to open it up. Brandon, if you have any questions that have come in, love to answer them.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Alex. So just as a reminder, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to go ahead and click the little triangle next to the word questions in your GoToWebinar panel. And we'll give you some time to go ahead and enter your questions now. But we do have a couple that came in, Alex, throughout the course. So one person wants to know how often they are going to be notified of what calls need to be recovered.
Sure. So we're sending one email per call or so each time a call is tagged as lead, new customer or existing customer, lead not booked. A not booked call is being sent to the recovery person each time as soon as we tag it. So they get one email per call. It's not like a summary of all the people that need to be called back. They get the email immediately. Did that answer the question? How often?
I believe it does.
How often are they receiving?
We'll find
and
out.
Again, it's almost it's almost in real time. Again, we're listening to the calls Monday through Friday up to 4 times a day. So any that may come in like on a Sunday, those will be emailed out first thing on Monday.
Awesome.
Okay, what's
next,
Brandon?
Is there any sort of reporting that goes along with this, similar to the rest of Blue Corona reports?
Sure. Yes, there is. So our call tagging team sends out an email weekly to you, the business owner, or whoever you want to receive this report that shows the progress of all the lead recovery categorized calls. We have some clients where they designate 3 people to handle these calls, to call these clients back. And so for a client like that, we're showing all the, like, what are the total number of calls that we categorize as lead recovery. And then, we're showing for each person, how many of the calls did they not end up booking, how many did they book, and how many are still in progress. So we're showing like booking rates and recovery rates by customer service rep. But yeah, that there is a report that comes out once a week for that.
Awesome. And it looks like currently we have one other question. One of our clients wants to know if they need to invest in lead recovery if they're already investing in smart selling.
That is a great question. I think the two go great together because the smart selling program is an ongoing training and coaching program to help your customer service reps handle these calls better. It's a training program, and there are still calls being kind of messed up, right? There are still lead calls that come in that don't end up booking an appointment, and that's why the training is so important. But in the here and now, if the CSR team lead or, the person in charge of the customer service reps, if they can receive the not booked calls in real time, they can still assign somebody immediately to try to recover that call. So, no, you don't have to be investing in one to invest in the other. You can find value, obviously, in both. I think they work very well together.
Awesome. And if someone wants more information about lead recovery, Alex, would they contact you or their account manager?
Either one. You can shoot me a note, alex@bluecorona.com, or you can reach out to your account manager. Either way. I think it's a fantastic program. The cost is well worth the return from it. If you can just book 1 or 2 more sales out of these quote unquote lost leads, it more than pays for itself. So yeah, give me a shout, alex@bluecorona.com, for more information, or reach out to your account manager. Thanks, Brandon.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. And that does, looks like it takes care of the last question. So Alex, thank you for your time today. And of course, thank you for everyone who joined us on this afternoon's webinar. As Alex mentioned, feel free to send her an email, Alex, ALEX, @bluecorona.com, or reach out to your account manager for more information. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.